Bismillahirrahmanirrahim and Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to another video. In this video, we are going to solve question number 10 of exercise 1A D2. So, in the last video, we solved question number 11 of this exercise, and now we are coming towards question number 12. So, let's start reading the question and then we are going to solve it. The net force F newtons. So, in this question, they are having physics terminologies like newtons and kilograms. There's mass also. So like the SI unit of mass is kilograms and the SI unit of force is newton. So they are using, the ones who are studying physics, they are clearly aware about this, and they have and the ones who are not aware about this, so they can know right now. So the net force F newtons need to push a block along horizontal surface is directly proportional to the mass m kilogram of the block. So over here m, that is the mass, is 5 and F newtons, the net force, is 49. So in part 1 we need to find an equation connecting F and m. Then we need to find the value of F when m is equals to is 14. In part 3 we need to calculate the value of m when F is equals to is 215.6. and then in the fourth part we need to draw a graph of F against m. This graph work we have also done in question number 10 and 11. So it's a very easy questions. These all parts we are coming in, we have solved in the previous questions from 1 till 11, so that would be very easy, just the terminologies are changed. So let's start up with today's video. So let's start solving question number 12 part A of exercise 1A D2. The first part was find an equation connecting F and M. I have written the values of F and M. So we are going to do the same. In the question it says that since F is directly proportional to m. So then what we did, we created an equation where we put F and then we add K as a constant. That is F is equals to is Km and K is a constant. So now we are going to fill the values to find the value of K. That will be our main equation. So what's the value of F? The value of F is 49. Then we need to find K, so it will be as it is. And now the value of M, it is 5. So we are going to, now 49 was over here multiplying and then we shifted over there, so it will be divided. So 49 divided by 5. So we can write this equation in this fraction in the calculator, or you can solve it by this equation by calculator, or if you're not allowed, so you need to solve it with the decimal system. So in calculator the answer of K is 9.8 and the equation has been created. Now we are just going to fill the values. F is equals to is K and K is Km. This was our equation, and K is 9.8 m. This is our main equation which we are going to apply in all coming 3 parts. So let's start with part 2 of question number 12. So let's start with the video. Now we are going to start with question number 12 part 2. Find the value of f when m is equals to is 14. So in part 2 we are going to write when for part 2. When m is equals to is 14, our formula was f is equals to is k m. K is 9.8. Okay, so we need to find f. So 9.8 multiplied by m, and m is 14. Simply multiply these two values and you will get the answer 137.2. This is the value of f. This is the answer for part 2. For part 3, calculate the value of m when f is equals to is 215.6. So when f is equals to is 21.5.6, and now our formula was f is equals to is 9.8, that is k m. The value of f is 21.5.6. For k it is 9.8. And m we need to find. So now simply we are going to divide these numbers. 215.6 divided by 9.8. Simply you can divide this answer in the calculator, and the answer to this question is 22. You can also write this in the calculator. So this was question number 12 part 2 and 3. Now let's move towards the last part, that is part 4. So let's start with the plotting of graph. So before the plotting we need to find the values to plot the graph. So we are going to use the same formula that we created in part 1. The formula is f is equals to is k m. The value of k was 9.8 m. So let's assume when this type of questions we have done in the previous questions, like question number 10 and 11. So you can first visit that video and then you can watch how to plot a graph, which was the first stage of plotting graph. This is now we move further. So when m is equals to is 0, we assume that it is 0. So now f is equals to is 9.8 multiplied by 0. Okay, now we are simply going to multiply it, and the value of f is 0. So when m is equals to is 0, then f is equals to is 0. This is the first value to plot the graph. Now let's find another value. In the last two questions 10 and 11, we plotted out and finded out 3 values for the graph. But in this questions we are going to find only 2 values. So let's assume when m is equals to is 1. So when n is 1, then we are going to write this formula, and now we are going to fill it. So k was 9.8 and m is 1. So when we multiply it, f is equals to is 9.8. So when M is 1, then F is 9.8. These are our two values. Now let's move towards the plotting of the graph. So now let's start with the plotting of graph. The values for the graph is when M is 0, then F is 0, and when M is 1, then F is 9.8. So let's start. Let me draw the graph. So as less values, let's consider M as, this line is M and this line is F, because there are more values in this side, F axis, and the less values in M axis. So there are values of our M. This is 0. Then for M we are going to leave 1 whole square, as we have said in the last videos also. So this is 1, then we are going to leave 1 whole square, then this is 2, then leave 1 whole square, and then this is 3. Okay, and then for F, this line we are having more values, so we are going to leave 1 half this square, so this is 0, so then leave 5 boxes and then write 1, then 5 boxes, write 2, then 5, write 3, 4, after leaving 5 boxes, then write 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think these values are enough for plotting of graph. The first value for the graph is M1, M is 0 and F is 0. So this is the first point of the graph. The second point is when M is 1, this is M and it is 1. So, and then now we are going to write 9.8. So it's a decimal value. That's not a big deal. We are just going to count these numbers. So over here we need to find 9.8. So 9.1, this one square, then 9.2. The line of this is square. 9.2, then 9.3, 9.4, 9.5, 9.6, 7, 8. This is the plotting of the next point over between this box. And the value for this is 1 and 9.8. So let's simply join this. So this was question number 12, part 4. We solved 4 parts of this question. In the first part we created an equation, and using this equation we then solved all 3 parts, and now we plotted the graph after finding the values in the same question, part 4. Okay, so this was question number 12 of exercise 1A D2, and in the next video we are going to come up with question number 13 of this exercise. We are almost end of this exercise, so that's a very good thing, and I'm going to make a playlist for all the questions of this exercise, so you can find it easy to visit all the videos of this exercise once this exercise will be finished. So I'm going to share a link of my articles, where I share my articles on Blogger. That's an app just like YouTube. So I share my articles, so I request you all to visit that website. That's a very cool website, and I hope you will visit and like that website. Also follow me on that. I'm going to share this link. Okay, thank you and Allah Hafiz. Don't forget to subscribe my channel.